With Diablo IV having its release on 6th of June, I can now dive into a mini review or more of a point of view regarding this title. I remember times of Diablo II and its expansion dubbed Lord of Destruction, and these titles are timeless classics, not only for myself but for many people loving hack and slash genre. Diablo II was grim, gory and very dark in nature. This is what many loved in this title. However, it wasn't just the visual aspect that earned the second Diablo its cult status. It was rather a combination of few elements, including aforementioned graphical side, which back in the day was groundbreaking and one of the top good-looking titles, followed closely by phenomenal sound, from background music that accompanied you wherever you went, all the way down to small interactions like slain monster giving their final breath, or rather sound, to a potion being used that became so iconic that it is now being used in Diablo IV as well. What set Diablo apart from similar games was the gameplay, as you had few different characters to choose from, and each one of them had 3 skill trees that you could develop the way you like. This gave you 21 different ways to slash your way through the campaign and carry over to the multiplayer. However, that is not where the customization ends. You could repeat high difficulty, high reward brawls with enemies that would drop different set items that in turn would boost your specific abilities and attributes of your character, further helping achieving your goal build. Some of this changed in Diablo 3. It was a departure from the dark and well-known Diablo name. It was drastically different from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Some may say the worst offender being its candy-like graphics. I somewhat agree with this statement, however, gameplay is what was the best part of Diablo 3 in my opinion. It was faster and more dependent on your items than ever before. You could build sets that kept boosting your current abilities and adding special features to them that would differentiate your otherwise boring skill set that also has changed compared to D2. You see, in Diablo 2 you could have 2 sets of weapons and assign a skill each for your left and right mouse buttons. Then you could bind other spells under F keys, F1, F2 and so on. With Diablo 3, you are limited with left and right mouse buttons and a choice of 4 skills under number 1 through 4. Sound was also good in this game, but nothing as iconic as D2 soundtrack and ambient noises. What if I would tell you that as Diablo 2 enjoyer, I wanted Diablo 3 to keep its gameplay, but add the dark and gory atmosphere from D2 to become the ultimate hack and slash? What if I would tell you that Diablo 4 achieves that? That's right. It is the game that brought back the original dark envelope and kept most mechanics from Diablo 3. Of course, adding some new features onto it, like a mount that you can use to traverse through a sizable map. This is the game we wanted Diablo 3 to be, we being Diablo 2 enjoyers, and I have to say that after roughly 20 to 25 hours of gameplay, I haven't experienced a single thing that was annoying or not, as it should be, from the title that was both long awaited and in long development cycle. Well, if I may just mention that I got an occasional lag here and there that disallowed me to escape from the city, I guess we can close an eye on that, because this game was highly anticipated and there was a lot of people flooding the servers, so yeah, I can close my eye on that one. The only thing that I am lacking is that world-ending narrative coming from demons as well as lords of destruction and terror that we were introduced to in Diablo 2. Back in the day it was a novelty. Now, as we are accustomed to it, we just shrug it off while butchering hordes of enemies. See, Diablo 2 had very recognizable forces of evil, be it the titular Diablo or his brother Baal, and the build-up was so dramatic you were scared to face off against them, especially seeing how much damage they do to you, knowing that you will have to come back with no gear just to pick your stuff up. Yep, that is right. Back in the day you couldn't just respawn in a nearby checkpoint when you have been slain. You had to retrace your way back where you have fallen, and in all cases it would be without your equipment. just with potions in your backpack that you bought in the local city, so you could get through the lesser enemies, or, well, you could just log out or exit to character selection screen, get back into the session, and your body with all your equipment would be right by your side. A well-known trick for Diablo 2 players. Now in D4 it's gone. You know, Lilith is the main body, but you have returning names like Andariel, Duriel, and so on. However, gone is the feel of dread, as even if you die, you'll respawn on a checkpoint with all your stuff on you and your equipment slightly damaged, which of course can be repaired. Campaign is okay-ish at best, at least in early hours, and it picks up the pace later on. But now you also have tons of side quests and time fillers like Lilith statues or areas to explore, so going through the game is not so straightforward anymore. Well, you can still just run through, but if you are a completionist type, good luck with doing all of it in just few hours. Sound-wise, I would say it didn't stray too far from Diablo 3. It is good, but not as good as Diablo 2. What struck me the most is that slain monsters don't make as much noise as they did in the past. This takes away from how powerful you have become, or how much you make the forces of evil suffer under your might. Skills are largely the same as in Diablo 3, as in the way they work. You also get 4 skills under 1 through 4, and 2 more for both of your mouse buttons. Building your character is nearly the same. You mainly depend on what items you have, which is a staple of this series by now. What is my favorite part in this iteration of the popular hack and slash is somewhat open world. It gives you a little bit more freedom. Yeah, it can be boring at times, but gone is the procedurally generated map, which some may like, but I always found annoying as you had to rediscover the area each time you went there after closing down your game. What is a nice touch is that the world events and local events that were introduced in Diablo 3 are here as well. However, there is a new additional task to do. These are the strongholds, areas with different quests and tough enemies that reside inside and have to be slain by different means to clear out the stronghold itself. I would give this title a solid 8 out of 10 because there are a few safe plays in here. Just like reintroducing old enemies and big bodies instead of trying something new. Well, they gave us new enemy types and new bosses, but some of them we have already seen and slain a dozen times before. But hey, other than that, and obviously a legendary Diablo 2 that Diablo 4 has to live up to, I am generally satisfied with this game. Lastly, I have never thought that I will be able to both make my own appearance for my character as well as hear my character speaking in the Diablo game, but here we are.
A horned demon. She said the lords of hell are coming.
There is something as well that will keep Diablo 4 profitable for Blizzard in the long run, meaning we may have new content every now and then. This is both the item shop as well as Battle Pass that is not present at launch, because, and that is a nice move on Blizzard's side, we are allowed to finish the campaign first and enjoy what game has to give before we can dive into repetitive tasks to level up through Battle Pass to unlock new features or items. What is also not present at launch are the set items. You know, the green, often most powerful items you could collect to form a whole set of mutually boosted pieces. The more you had in set and had them currently equipped, the stronger their bonus statistics became. Well, for now we won't have them, as in Diablo 2 sets weren't that great, while in Diablo 3 they were super powerful but limited you to specific items. And this is not something Blizzard wants from their new game. They want to keep the excitement for new items you obtain without sacrificing too much of your power, hence set items are currently being worked on to balance them out and keep them fun. Obviously, as in case of Diablo 1 and its Hellfire expansion pack, you had Lord of Destruction for Diablo 2 and Reaper of Souls for Diablo 3, all of them adding new locations, items and especially new characters. I expect that this is going to be the same for Diablo 4, but anyways, this is our future concern. I still have to finish the game and explore high-end items and other features, plus see how Paragon levels have been implemented here, but so far, It genuinely feels like Diablo 3 in Diablo 2's skin with a twist, and I am definitely liking it. So far, if someone would ask me if it's worth buying, I would say, if you have enjoyed previous games, you most likely will enjoy this one. And as for the game released in 2023, it is in a playable state with no major problems, at least none that I have experienced in roughly 25 hours of gameplay. I bet there is more to come, and there are many more features of Diablo 4 that I haven't seen just yet, but I wanted to share my point of view with you guys. There is also another hack and slash I was playing in the meantime leading up to Diablo 4's release, but I will be working on a video for this one in the future. Alrighty, that is it from me. I really enjoyed making this video, and if you enjoyed watching it, leave a like or subscribe so I can see whether reviews or gameplays should be the thing I focus on next. Thank you for your time, and have a happy hunt for a treasure goblin. Danon, out.